Hi everyone. I thought today we would do something a bit different from usual, that I would start speaking and interviewing one of my friends, Nana Fink, who's the founder of Jules Basel, on how to create and launch a jewelry show, a boutique jewelry show for independent designers. That's what Nana has done successfully with Jules Basel that takes place next month in June. So I'm waiting for her to join us and tell us all about what she did to make it a success over the years it's been launched, and how she moved from Basel World, where she used to have a little group of designers with her and her own jewelry, to our own show. So I'm just going to wait. If you have questions, there's a specific question button at the bottom here, so please join there, ask your questions. I'll try to answer the questions at the end with Nana. We're just going to chat for hi, nice for the messages. Yes, I'm fine, a bit tired but fine. And I'm just waiting for Nana to join us. So we'll speak for 20-25 minutes and Nana will answer your questions. So really today our interest is boutique jewelry shows for independent jewelers, so based on Nana's experience and also based on what's happening in the world. Just read that trade shows are still popular with exhibitors and buyers, so people like to have the first-hand connection. They like to have this touch and feel in person, so that's why trade shows are popular. Let's see if Nana is joining us. I think just a second. Let's see where she is. Jules Basel has just joined us. So I'm going to invite Nana here. Great. I have one question that's not directly related to let me get Jules Basel here. Yes, Stefania. We'll save. I save the live in a reels and also in a feed. So don't worry. Thanks for joining us for a short time. Let me just a message for Nana. You need to request to join the live. So I try to see if I can add you myself, but I don't think I can. Oh, I can actually. Let's do that. Sorry guys who are joining us. We are getting there, and the nice is Nana's first IG live, so we're all in it together. And please, as I said, if you have questions, hi Nana, nice to see you.
Hey, I'm so sorry.
No.
Hey, so
Hi. Nice to see you. So I would like to start with just a little announcement. Jules Basel is taking place next month in Basel, obviously in Switzerland. What are the dates?
it is the 13th of June until the 15th. So exactly in 3 weeks we're starting.
Amazing. So I was telling our friends, just before that when you, at the moment, people really like shows. They like to go back to shows, to jewelry shows, to walk the floor, to meet the designers, to buy jewelry in live, not just online, like we've been doing for the years of COVID. So tell me, what do you think is so special about an intimate show?
About what?
An intimate, a small show like it's created with Jules Basel.
I think, the show Jules Basel takes place in this Baroque villa in the city palais of Basel. And it's just so beautiful, and I think people really enjoy having this more intimate show at a really nice location. And I think it's also a little bit the zeitgeist, like all these big brands like Audemars Piguet, they have like new stores, like for example in Zurich, where it's like a luxury apartment. So it's more like, it's really, I think, a trend that people like to have this more intimate experience, and it really helps if it's like a beautiful place, of course. And this is a Baroque villa where in the past Bulgari and Chanel and Louis Vuitton have also shown. And I think this makes it, like so nice that people can come in and meet the designers and the brands in person.
How many exhibitors do you have, Nana?
We have now about 15. But we also have gemstones, and we have two artists as well. So because we moved from the week of Basel World, which we sadly don't have anymore in Basel, we moved the show to the Art Basel Week, and we collaborate with Volta Art Fair, and so we also like try to like combine it with also art, like fine arts and sculptures.
So that's quite interesting because, as I said before you joined us, is that you started first to being at Basel World. It was like a little pavilion with independent jurors, more jewelry artists actually. And when that happened, how did you set up a show? How do you start a show from scratch, really?
Yeah, I used to show at Basel World. Like you said, there was a design pavilion one year in 2016, and we were all excited. Yeah, we have something for you, like younger designers. And then they did it again in 17. It was called Design Lab. But then in 18, they just, like they quit doing offering this lab. So I was like, it was around midnight. I'm like, what to do now? So I thought, well, if they're not offering it anymore, maybe I should try to do something. And that's when I started Jewels Basel in 2018 at our Grand Hotel Les Trois Rois, Three Kings, which is quite well known during the week of, like the Art Basel before also Basel World. So I did it there, and simultaneously Dolce Gabbana were showing the jewelry, and also Shambhala jewels. So it was really nice. We had like our etage, like our floor in this beautiful hotel where we did the show, and I started off with 5 brands, and people really liked it. So I'm like, okay, maybe I'm gonna do it again. So it kind of like evolved out of like a necessity, because we didn't have this platform anymore at Basel World, and so then that's how it started. And in the coming years, I was like talking to Basel World. We were about to do like a really nice and wonderful collaboration. But then, COVID came, and, like everything changed, and some brands decided to, go to Geneva to start something new. And so sadly, Basel World then was, like it doesn't exist anymore. So it's just me with Jewels Basel and my wonderful, like partners and exhibitors here that trying to keep the show alive. Yeah.
And that comes with a lot of challenges. I mean, you obviously, people would know you there, you're Nana Fink. So you have your own brand, you create your own jewelry. On top of that, you organize the show. It takes the year, I guess. As soon as one show is over, you have to think already of the next year, because to get people interested, to get your sponsors, it's a whole organization in itself. Can you tell us about the challenges of organizing this type of shows?
Yeah. So, like first, when the show is over, I don't do anything for like 2 to 3 months. I take a break. But after that, it's like, like it starts back. You have to, talk to your partners, sponsors, get new sponsors on board. Um, and then you need to have, like find new exhibitors, and some things are like repeat, like okay, about like technical things, the light, the villas, the same villa, the same company, so that's easier. But now with for example, with inflation and with the geopolitical situation in the world, it's been a little bit like tough to find like financial sponsors, partners. So it's, yeah, I think the challenge is also like to always like go between exhibitors and then sponsors, partners, the event management. So it's like keeping everything like like juggling, like keeping the balance and not forgetting like also like the invitation. So there are many different aspects to the show. And the closer we get to the show, the more I also do like work with you or like other editors, journalists. So there's really like it's a real jungle. I feel like a DJ in the mix.
Yeah, I see, and I guess also because you select the designers who are exhibiting at the show. So what are the criteria because you want something consistent, you want a consistent showcase, something coherent, something where everybody kind of has a place to shine. So how do you if you were today a designer who wants to join Jules Basel, what criteria do you need to meet?
Yeah. So naturally, I think from also the jewelry I make, my jewelry is very sculptural and like a lot of craftsmanship goes into it. I work with master artisans, so I think like I'm naturally drawn to like something that's like like different. It doesn't have to be, but I see when I go like to shows, I naturally gravitate to pieces that are like that catch my eye. They have like maybe a twist to it, and they have special design craftsmanship. And I think what like the common, how do you say, the shared common aspect probably is like that everything is really very exquisite, like masterpieces, beautiful gemstones, rare gemstones, hand carved. Trying to think, yeah, that's what I personally love most. And we also have, for example, someone who's showing like the last pink diamonds of the Argyle mine in Australia. So I like to have like either designers or brands that have like something very special to offer. So people are like, wow, what is this? And we also had, for example, 2 years, my friend Robert Prokop from Beverly Hills, who designed the engagement ring for Brad Pitt and Angelina Jolie. And so, like things like this, like we have like Angelina Jolie's jewelry that she wore. People are like, like, wow, it's a little wow effect to the show. And then what else do we have? We have my gemstone partner who works with me. He brings the rarest sapphires, rubies, and emeralds to the show. So people really see things they usually don't, have a chance to see. And probably also the difference, like to Basel World now, is that you can really touch and feel and talk to everyone and see the pieces and see these rare gemstones. So yeah, it goes between like the designs, like you ask what do I like, what's the criteria to join. So I guess I'm really like quite open, but I love when like there's like, wow, I've never seen this. For example, I have a brand by Irina Karpova from Ukraine, and she and her son, they hold Fabergé orders. Like she has 7, he has 2, and the pieces I've never seen such a thing before. That they're like more like objects, like art jewelry. So yeah, it's really like what surprises me, what I like.
Is there still space for designers for this year's edition if they want to join, or is it a bit too late now? Everyone has a seat already.
Yes, I have about 2 to 3 spaces.
Okay. So sorry, Nana, if you are a designer that meets Nana's criteria, sculptural jewelry, exceptional gemstones, handcrafted, and you want to show your jewelry in Basel, that's your chance to to contact Nana.
You can contact me. The sooner the better, because that would mean like I would have to also like get 2 or 3 more showcases, like, and also like it's not just like you can come, but I need like to organize then for the brands. So now we have 3 weeks, but it's possible, but just get in contact. Thank you, Sonia.
No, and I think also what's very nice is, if I understood correctly, the audience that comes to Jules Basel, they're people who love art because you match it during the an artistic week. So people who like paintings, contemporary art, they actually also usually collectors of beautiful jewelry. So I think it's a nice environment for the show to be successful.
Yeah, absolutely. We do have wonderful people. I mean, we have this, like very affluent, how do you say, clients, friends, visitors from Basel and around. But also I work with the city of Basel, which is really nice. We have the city marketing, and they have a welcoming package that they give to all the Art Basel galleries. I think there are about 350. And they invited me to, like put my invitation card, the exclusive invitation card for Jewels Basel in their welcoming package. So that brings us, like also the international art scene to the show, which is wonderful. And also, we have these shuttle services with my partners, with the Bentley and the Range Rover, and we drive from, the shows Art Basel and my partner, my collaborated Volta Art Fair. So we go from the different shows and you can enjoy the ride in the beautiful cars. So yeah, so we get like this mix of, like this affluent group of Basel and Zurich and around, but also the international art visitors.
So you would say that most of the visitors of the show are private collectors. They're not really from the trade.
Yeah, it's really B2C show. Like
Mm-hmm.
you can buy, everything is for sale, and which is also very interesting because you asked me, like before, what's interesting for the exhibitors, designers and brands. I think it's nice because they can sell directly
Mm-hmm.
where the jewelry goes, and like who the collectors are. Yeah. And I think this is probably also quite unique. I'm not sure if there's so many shows out there where you can really go and buy, like the jewelry during like an art and jewelers week, like we have it in Basel.
I think that's lovely, and I think it's lovely to know the designer, because that's all about the stories of the jewelry, and to have a nice place to chat and a glass of champagne and to walk around. And I think it's you created this beautiful setting for people to experience the jewelry on a really finer level.
Yes. And also, like me as a jewelry designer, I also really like to know where my jewelry goes, where it lives. So it's both ways, like I think we all, like the buyers, the collectors, but also we as the designers, we really enjoy this conversation. And it's always, I mean, it's all about human relationships and the stories behind it. It makes it so much nicer. I mean, it's like more charismatic. The jewelry piece gets more charisma, when you have this exchange.
Absolutely. So I tried to paste it together. So to have a successful show, you need obviously a beautiful venue.
Yeah.
You need to find the right time in the calendar year.
Yes.
Because to time it with something, ideally a bigger event that can attract more people to the place where you are. Trying to think of people who are based in any other cities in the world where there's a nice community that could get together. You obviously have to offer a beautiful experience, a luxurious experience. So you mentioned the Bentley, the driving, trying to get people feel like VIPs when they come to your show. The showcase is super important. Who you showcase and what you're offering. Anything else to have? What's your successful recipe? And I know you obviously work with local publications. You do a lot of marketing before that. So any other elements that I forgot in a successful recipe of yours?
A very good question. Yeah, like the VIP, I think it's all about, it's a mix. So for example, I have Shambhala jewels, Mats and Mikkel, they're like my jewelry rock stars. I mean, when Mats shows up, everyone's like, wow. So that, Dr. Barbara Sturm, she gives us the VIP glow moment, like ladies get this travel packages. But what's really, I thought about this was really, really important. I think all is about, like relationships, the communication, the relationships you build, like steadily and from the heart and authentic, like over the years. So I think probably it only works because I have all these, like wonderful people that are out
Mhm.
there and are helping me. Like I can ask my friends, like at the Three Kings or Tanya Condit's, our three-star chef, or like Barbara Sturm or you, and like the magazines in Basel, the newspapers, other hotels. Trying to think, and everyone's like, yes, sure, bring your cards, and we talk about it, and we help you. Or a friend now who's the CEO of a place called Job Factory, and he will, like sponsor furniture. So it's really about, it's like a family and friends affair, I would say.
I
And
love your way of thinking laterally as well, because it's obviously not all about the jewelry. It's about, beauty, like, like you have Barbara Sturm. So it's about a high-end
yeah,
beauty, high-end chef, Michelin star chefs, beautiful venues in a place. So to bring everyone together, to think of jewelry as a lifestyle more than just jewelry, I think is so important. I think that's why you made Jules Basel such a destination show.
yes, it's true. And also, like me, myself, I really like to make it such a beautiful event. So I think when you come, you really feel, aha, this is, like came from my heart and from the support around me. So I think it's people feel like, okay, this is beautiful, special, and authentic. It's not just like we want to have a luxury show. It's more really like we love beautiful things. Like, so it starts from furniture, goes to sculptures, to ceramics, to jewelry. Um, yeah, so it's really all about beauty and aesthetics, but not so much, like we just want to have brands and we just want to have luxury, but more like to feel good, or like with beautiful handcrafted, handmade things. And then of course also, like for example, the Bentley that we have, one lady sews the leather inside for 1 year. So you see, it's not just a luxury brand, but it's what goes into these products. Same for Barbara Sturm. I mean, the research she does, and she's also so passionate about what she does. So I think it's really all about the quality, the passion, like the craftsmanship. So that's kind of like the shared common aspect, I think.
I think it's a great answer. I love it because I think that really tells you everything you need to know about a boutique show, what you need to have. It's all these magic elements that come together, but they come from first from the heart and the soul that you put
It is
into
true.
the show. Um, I wanted to say, yes, yeah, it definitely looks like our friend Stefania is saying that it sounds like a wonderful and soulful show. And I think that comes from you, Nana, putting all these elements together. What do you think about the future of trade shows, actually? I mean, it's not a trade show, of jewelry show, sorry. Do you think that you can see it growing and growing because people love to go back in live to events like this? Do you see Jules Basel growing into something even bigger? You have 15 now, you started at 5, or there's a cap for you, there's a number that's it. Now I'm not going any further.
Good question. The villa, I think in my villa, I could probably show 25. I could, and I think that's probably, I would say, if I mix with artists, I don't want to have 25 brands, I think, because me personally, I'm always overwhelmed if at shows. I don't know where to go. I need a guide at shows. It's too much for me. But I think if I say, okay, my top is 25, I would want to mix in like with artists and sculptures and the gemstones experts, for example, and so that everyone has like a real standalone chance. I think when there's so many, I mean, everyone's overwhelmed, and I really want the exhibitors also to be successful during the week, like so they come back, they're happy, because like it's an investment to come to Basel to participate in the show, because it is expensive. The villa, the show, the Art Basel week is very expensive. But Um, I'm currently talking to the, like the MCH, the Swiss Group of Fairs. So we will see what happens, where it goes. But me personally, I would love to have it, like niche boutique as it is, because that's like, like my credo, how I started. And there's a villa next to my villa, so maybe we go.
Ah, I see you have your sights on the neighbors.
Yeah, but it's an ambivalence because I really like to have it, like familiar and small and like this boutique. I think the maximum I would go, like okay, we take the other villa as well if they give it at all. Probably not, but yeah, we will see. But I think this for sure. This is something like like to have this smaller boutique show, this experience is, and for sure this is something that can survive because like I see when the people come and arrive and they're so thankful and they like grateful to experiences. I get messages, are you doing the party again? So this year we're doing an opening up with Bucherer fine jewelry of Basel, like the local from Basel, and we're doing a party, so people are already asking, are you doing it? Can we come? So I think everyone likes to, like participate or be part of something like this. Because it's, yeah, we have it once a year only, right? And so last year when we did the party, so the villa has a catacomb. Is this an English word, a catacomb?
Yeah, yes, yeah.
No one knows it in the city. I mean, maybe, okay, a few. So when we did the party, you walk down a really steep, almost like Gothic stair. And then you arrive in this massive catacomb, and people were like blown away because no one knew. They're like, we live in Basel and we don't know the catacomb, we don't know the garden. So I really, really love to like give you an experience and that people experience something they haven't seen, haven't been, or haven't experienced before. Yeah.
That's fantastic. So we're just going to wrap up on this. If you are a designer that meets Nana's criteria, if you join us later, please watch the whole the whole live, so you'll find out exactly what Nana is looking for. There's still space for you for this year's edition, but there's next year's already soon in the making after Nana relaxes in July, August. It takes the whole summer to relax, but and if any information you want to find out, join Jules Basel on Instagram, check the website. I'm sure Nana will be happy to answer any questions you have about the show. If you're a collector, by all means, also try to get to Basel for that show and everything else happening at that time. And you can also join Nana Think on Instagram. I'm going to check if we have more questions that are relevant to this talk. I have one. What is the best advice you would give to a young designer who would like to start a show with friends?
To show?
To start also a show, a jewelry show with a few friends.
Ah, yes.
One piece of advice, apart from stamina and perseverance.
Yes. Okay, you need to have perseverance, right? To stick to your idea, to stick to your dreams, and there will be hurdles, there will be complications, but just believe in yourself, do it. And also, if you have setbacks, it's okay. It always happens. No matter what you do, just like stay with your dreams and with your ideas. If you're not the greatest networker, communication person, find that person and then work together. Because I think this is like number one skill to be a great communicator, to be able to build great and long-lasting relationships. And yeah, it helps to have a great network.
Lovely. I think that's a wonderful advice. Thank you so much, Nana, for your time today. I hope the people who join us now or are going to watch the recording later will learn something, will feel inspired. And obviously, we'll come to Jules Basel. That's the idea. And I wish you a very successful show, Nana. Thank you so much.
Thank you so, so much for this wonderful interview.
Thanks, Nana. Thanks, everyone, and have a lovely day.
Bye.